Oh my god. This article is so offensive. Everyone needs to hear about it and be just as offended as I am because I'm the queen of the world. This book is offensive because it has the word book in it. Well, ma'am, it's a book, so that's why it says book on it. You need to stop selling it. I found something else that's offensive. This says breakfast on it. I don't eat breakfast, so you need to stop selling it. It doesn't really matter if you don't eat breakfast. Just don't buy that coffee. Are you gonna buy those? What do you mean am I gonna buy these items? I put them on the counter, didn't I? How stupid are you? God. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a headache, where I share some of my thoughts about things that give me a headache. I know I haven't been here for a while, but does anyone else feel like 2020 was just one big Black Mirror episode experiment? Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that has been driving me crazy for decades. We're going to talk about political correctness versus politeness, which are not the same things at all. And I'll add the political in later, but for now, we're just going to break it down to the base words because I feel like people have forgotten, me included, like what the differences are between politeness and correctness, because I've seen things that say like fuck politeness. What is that? That sounds weird because when you want to be polite, when you want people to be polite to you, isn't that the golden rule? Like, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Politeness is behavior that is respectful and considerate of other people. So politeness is things like general courtesy, like opening doors for strangers. If you see somebody coming, moving off to the side, like if you're both walking on the sidewalk, saying excuse me, if you accidentally bump into somebody. It's just general things, saying please and thank you, that kind of stuff. Correctness is the quality or state of being free from error, accuracy. The quality of being right in an opinion or judgment. Conformity to accepted social standards. Fuck correctness. Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. Correctness, however, correctness appears to be based on subjectivity. It's very opinionated. It's people saying you're wrong, I'm right. And that's how it is, when that's not how it is at all. You can share your opinion, but you don't need to shove it down other people's throats. And I think that's what correctness has become. It's that whole idea of someone thinking that they're so correct that they have to pound this idea into your head and just make you feel like shit for not believing what they believe, which is the definition of... Yeah, nobody wants to be that. Just ew. God. Yet people are using correctness as a way to behave like this and then justify it, which is terrible. Okay, so now let's add the word political in, because that'll make it better, I'm sure. Political correctness is defined as the avoidance, often considered as taken to extremes, of forms of expression or action that are perceived to exclude, marginalize, or insult groups of people who are socially disadvantaged or discriminated against. So now I feel like when you add the political part to it, makes the correctness so much worse, is because people are not only yelling at each other for opinions that they disagree with, but now they're forming little groups and then having each of their groups have an opinion, and then it causes these like groups fighting amongst each other. And that's, I think, the problem that we're having today, because it's always one group is over here, they believe something, and then this group over here believes another thing, and it kind of just sounds like war, basically, when people think that they have to have the same opinion as their group instead of thinking for themselves. A lot of times when you're in a group like that, like if you have an individual thought, some of the groups will kick you out of their group. And because people don't want to feel like an outcast, which is normal, they just think that they should bend down to the will of the group. It causes these little like cult behaviors. It's just not good. I think that maybe it was intended for good, because it's like, don't insult people that are in a different group, but that in itself I don't think needs to be said if you are being polite to everyone in the first place. So the next topic I'm gonna try to put in here is the ists and the phobias. We all know what I'm talking about. It's those words that people have come up with to call someone an ist, or say someone has a phobia against someone. And I think that this is a result of political correctness going on, because each group has something that they stand for, which is good. You should stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. In itself, I think the words existing are fine. But what happens when these words get pulled either out of context or overused like they are now? Because what happens now when you're in one of your groups and you see another group and they say something you disagree with and you can't handle it, so then you freak out and you call them an ist, whichever one. There's so many, so just, pick one. Or you say they have a phobia against whatever your group is standing for. I don't think that's productive at all. And I know I'm saying at all a lot in here, but really, not productive at all. Like, stop saying you want people to not call you names and then assign a name to them, because you're doing exactly what you said you didn't want people to do to you, which is the exact fucking opposite of the golden rule. In the early to mid 20th century, the phrase politically correct was used to describe strict adherence to a range of ideological orthodoxies within politics. In 1934, the New York Times reported that Nazi Germany was granting reporting permits only to pure Aryans whose opinions are politically correct. If that doesn't, kind of signal some red flags in your head, or sirens or something, or both, I don't know what will. So this leads me into my thought that political correctness really just stifles, suffocates, and just silences people. It makes people think that they can't say things. It's not healthy for your mind to think that you can't say something or the thought police will come and fucking arrest you. That's an awful way to live. Or maybe not even the thought police, but like the speech police or the internet hashtag police. People will post hashtag something, and then someone from that group gets offended by it. Their cult followers will come in and just comment all these nasty ass things about the individual who used the wrong hashtag, because apparently that's a thing. That's a thing now. Yeah. If you're looking for a job, hashtag police. In May 1991, at a commencement ceremony for a graduating class of the University of Michigan, then U.S. President George H.W. Bush used the term in his speech. The notion of political correctness has ignited controversy across the land, and although the movement arises from the laudable desire to sweep away the debris of racism and sexism and hatred, it replaces old prejudice with new ones. It declares certain topics off limits, certain expressions off limits, even certain gestures off limits. This quote from George H.W. Bush is exactly what I feel like. It feels like political correctness in its attempt to make the world a better place, in its attempt to make people speak a little nicer to everyone. It actually does the exact fucking opposite. Why do people say, oh, you can't say that now? You can't say that. It's almost like people are just terrified to do life. Like they can't say what they want. They can't do what they want. It basically causes fear, which is probably why Nazis enjoyed it, because guess what Nazis did? They made people live in fear so they could control them. This is how you control people. You make them too afraid to speak up for themselves, which is what political correctness does, which is why I don't fucking like it. People seem to behave like they think their opinions are facts, which is wrong. Opinions are not facts. Opinions are your thoughts about things, and facts are just proven truths. You have an opinion about a fact. Your opinion is not the fact. Till next time, be civil to each other. Stop acting like whiny, entitled fucking little assholes. And I'll see you on the next video.